Let's get into it. Sold Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Joe Rogan sitting down with Mark Andreessen. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. Great guest, but you can expect one thing when Mark's on the podcast. Mark's going to take a deep breath, okay? So just lock in. That's what Mark does. You got to get used to it. Now, they're talking a little bit about woke culture and how it's like a cult, but then they start talking about BlueSky and social media, and that's what we're going to delve into after the clip is done. All of the wildness of BlueSky. If you don't know what BlueSky is, it is a woke Twitter, basically. It's basically like the old Twitter. That's basically it. You say something you shouldn't, you get completely reported, your account's taken down right away. People are showing scales of tolerance and intolerance, and if you're too high on the intolerance scale, you get shut down. It's absolutely ridiculous, but we're going to get into that in a second. Let's go with the Rogan clip first.
Are indicative of people that are in cults or people that are a part of like a very like a serious fundamental religion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, the big difference between woke and those traditional religions is woke has no concept of redemption.
Right.
No concept of forgiveness.
Right. Which is a very evil religion.
You do not want that.
It's ill-conceived, right? Because it's like immature. It's an immature religion.
Yes, it's absolutist. It's inherently totalitarian. It has to be because it can permanently destroy people.
Yeah.
Woke also understands something that the Greeks understood, which is that being ostracized and being put to death are the same thing. And so when the Greeks sentenced somebody like Socrates to death, they gave them the option of just leaving. But the problem was, yes, Socrates could have just walked out and left.
No kidding.
But the reason that was considered equivalent sentences is because at that time, if you were not a citizen of a particular city, you would get killed in the next city. You'd be identified as the enemy presumptively and killed. And so there was no way to survive without being part of your community.
Wow.
And that's what the wokes figured out is you can do the same thing. If you're able to nail somebody on charges of having done something unacceptably horrible, then you make them toxic, and all of a sudden they can't have people they lose friends, they lose family, they can't get work. And before you know it, like they're, living, severely diminished, damaged lives. Some people then go on to kill themselves.
I don't know if you've been paying attention at all to BlueSky.
I have.
But I have multiple friends that have accounts on BlueSky that are very sophisticated trolls and are pushing like the woke agenda to a satirical point, like parody, but like on the edge where you're not quite sure. Yeah. Well, they'll say enough real things that make sense and talk about their own anxieties and personal issues with stuff, and then say ridiculous. And it's fascinating.
I bet it works.
It does work.
Yeah.
That's what's so terrifying. Yeah. It's like all the outcasts of Twitter, all the people that were like, I can't take this. A few of them have come back, which is wonderful. I love when they come back. I'm gone. I'm going to go to BlueSky. People. Like a bunch of them went to Threads for a while, like Stephen King. He went to Threads, came right back. They all come right back. They can't. The marketplace of ideas, like, okay, you could go to like a fruit stand in the middle of the desert, and that's a marketplace, or you can go to the farmer's market where everybody's there. Where are you going to go?
That's right.
You're going to go to the farmer's market. There's tons of people. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of activity.
Yes.
That fruit stand's barren and deserted. There's no one there. There's very few choices.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And it's win-win to have. Well, it's win-win to have them back on Twitter because it's good for them because they want to proselytize, and so they need an audience. So they win, and then we win because it's really, really fun to dunk on them.
But it's also weird for them to not want any pushback at all. Yeah. Like, isn't the whole thing supposed to be about an exchange of ideas? Like, if you have a controversial idea and someone disagrees with it, don't you want to hear that position? I know I do. Yeah. I want to hear it. Yeah. Even if I vehemently disagree with it, I want to hear it. I want to know how's your brain work? How are you coming to these conclusions? What makes you think this way? Who are you? What do you like? I want to go on Instagram. I want to look at your pictures. Yeah. I want to see what you're up to. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you do with your free time? What are you complaining about?
Yeah.
It's a fascinating education on human psychology. And to watch people express themselves publicly and then also be attacked publicly by strangers, which never happens in the real world, like at scale, the way it happens on social media. Yeah. And I think it's an amazing time for people to examine ideas if you can handle it.
Yeah. My favorite term is marketplace of idea.
Yeah.
You could have a marketplace of ideas. It's just going to be one idea, right? So BlueSky is a marketplace of ideas.
Sure, yeah.
X is the marketplace of ideas. That final S makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing about X is it really is diverse.
Yeah.
I follow tons of like kooky leftist progressive nutbags that like have bizarre takes on everything. And they were 100% convinced that Kamala Harris is going to sweep all the swing states, including Iowa. They were all in, and I was like, this is wild. Like, is that going to happen? Are they right? Like, this is crazy. But they were 100% convinced. And it's fascinating to see all these different kinds of people, to see the Charlie Kirks and, you know, the full-on left-wing kooks and see them all together. So you need that.
Yeah, look, so one of the ways I think to think about this is all new information is heretical by definition, right? So anytime anybody has a new idea, it's a threat to the existing power structure. So all new ideas start as heresies. And so if you don't have an environment that can tolerate heresies, you're not going to have new ideas, and you're going to end up with complete stagnation. And if you have stagnation, you're going to go straight into decline. Right. And I think this is the aberrant nature. This is the timeline split. I think the last decade has just been like a really weird aberrant time where things have not been working like they should. And you know, in 2015, Twitter called itself the free speech wing of the free speech party, right? And Elon has not, like, Elon has restored it.
Right.
He brought it back. He brought it back to something that everybody thought was completely normal 10 years ago. And I hope this last 10 years increasingly is just going to feel like a bad dream. Like, I can't believe we tolerated the level of repression, right? And anger and, you know, emotional incontinence and, you know, cancellation campaigns.
Emotional incontinence is a great term.
Yes. There has been a lot.
That's really what it's like.
Emotional incontinence.
You just diarrhea in your emotions.
Just spraying rage in all directions. And so I'm very, at the moment at least, very optimistic that there's a cultural change happening here that's even more profound than the political change.
I have a lot of respect and also sympathy for Jack Dorsey. I like him a lot as a human being. I think he's a brilliant guy, and I think he had very good intentions, but he was a part of a very large corporation, and he had an idea for a Wild West Twitter. He wanted to have two versions of Twitter. He wanted to have the Twitter that was pre-Elon, where there's moderation and you can't dead name someone and all that jazz. And then he wanted to have an additional Twitter that was essentially what X is now. And he just didn't have the ability to push that through with the board and the executives and all the people that, you know, were fully on board with woke ideology.
So the experience that people like Jack have had running these companies in the last decade has been, and I don't mean to like let them off the hook for their decisions, but just the lived experience, as they say, of what these people's lives have been like is just daily pounding. Just every single day, it's like meteor strikes coming down from the sky, exploding around you, getting attacked from every conceivable direction, being called just incredibly horrible things, being attacked from many different directions.
Well, he's already left BlueSky.
Well, yeah, so the irony of Jack is that Jack then created BlueSky, which is kind of exactly the opposite of anyway where he thought it. You know, oh, by the way, you know, the new name for it, of course, is Blue Cry. Yes,
I didn't know that.
Exactly. But he's also got, you know, look, to his credit, he's still trying, and so he's got Nostr, you know, which is another.
What is it?
It's called Nostr, Nostr.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of new. It's actually his third.
He's going to keep swinging.
He's going to look at full credit. He's going to keep swinging. And by the way, full credit, he supported Elon. You know, they've mixed up a little bit, but by and large, he's been very supportive and was very supportive at a key time. And
well, so I also found it fascinating that when there was any sort of a right-wing branch of that stuff like Gab or any of these, they would immediately be infiltrated by bots as well, like my friends that troll on BlueSky. But these are Nazis. Like, these are Nazi bots. These are people that would just spew horrible hate, and then Gab would be labeled, oh, this is where the Nazis go. This is a right-wing psychopath social media app.
And I think, frankly, I think you get the same thing if you start out. If you start out overtly political on either side, I think that's what you end up with.
Yes.
And so I just like that doesn't seem to be an effective route to market. It seems like you have to start from the beginning as a general purpose service, but you need to have some sense of the actual guardrails you're going to have around. And by the way, every social media service, internet service that ever works, there's always some content filters and restrictions, because you can't have you can't have incitement to violence, you can't have terrorist recruitment. And even the First Amendment, there's like a dozen carve-outs that the Supreme Court has ruled on over time that are things like that you can't just like say, right? I can't say, let's go join ISIS and let's go attack Washington. Like, it's literally not allowed. So there's always some controls, but you need to have like a spine of steel if you're going to hold back the censorship pressure. And you know, there's basically Substack, company I'm involved, is doing very well. You know, smaller.
I love Substack.
Smaller than Twitter, but doing extremely well.
Fantastic.
And they've done a great job, I think, of holding the line on this stuff. And then obviously,
and it's an amazing resource. There's so many brilliant people on Substack.
Yeah, that's right.
I love Substack. I get a large percentage of my news from Substack.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really good, and it's so valuable, and it's such a great place for people who are independent journalists and physicians and scientists to publish their ideas and actually get paid for it by the people who subscribe to it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and there's lots of people on the far left and the far right.
Yes.
Right. So you actually have the full spray of, like, when a far left person gets upset at work, somebody working at the New York Times is mad because they're not far left, left enough, they quit and they start a
Right.
Substack. And Substack welcomes them in.
Yes.
Which is why they don't devolve into a Gab or something like that, because it really is a platform. It really does welcome all comers.
Well, it's also very difficult to subvert in that same way because Substack is essays, right? You're reading people's essays and papers on things, and like these are long form things that are very well, in a lot of cases, very well researched, and it's not the kind of thing you could just post on.
Right.
You know, there are comments, but it's just like they don't hold the weight that the actual article holds.
Right. So my partners at work, they've observed that I tend to be able to inflame situations from time to time. I can tend to be provocative and get people really upset. And so the rule they've asked me to comply with is I'm allowed to write essays, for example, in Substack, and I'm allowed to go on long form podcasts, but I'm not allowed to post.
Really?
Right. Exactly. Well,
You have rules.
it's the rule. It's the rule. Now, by the way, I struggle against the rules because I can't help myself from
Why
time
do
to time.
they want you to have rules?
Because otherwise, I inflame people too much. I drive people too crazy.
You do it on purpose?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's unintentional. Did you ever hear about when the entire continent, when the entire country of India was mad at me?
No.
Oh, I spent one night with the entire country of India basically wanting to kill me. It was incredible.
Oh my goodness! What happened?
I mean, I was in a Twitter debate with somebody back when I was just posting freely on Twitter, and it was a debate about economics, and the topic of colonialism came up, and I made a comment in a long thread about, you know.
And that is what social media is all about. Did I tell you about the time where all of India was mad at me? That's what you're supposed to be able to do. I will say right away, before I jump over here, when they were talking about threats, you can't say whatever about Washington, and you can't talk about ISIS or joining or whatever. BlueSky, and I can't show it because he is right. I can't show it on this platform, but BlueSky was allowing all sorts of death threats to Trump. I went on there so you don't have to. Believe me, you don't want to. Unless you're one of those people, you got dark humor, you can just laugh at things. And otherwise, it's just like, absolutely terrible. When it comes to BlueSky, here's some people who left for BlueSky: Mark Hamill, Alyssa Milano, Gabrielle Union, Jamie Lee Curtis, Stephen King, Barbara Streisand, Don Lemon, Guillermo del Toro, Mark Ledard, but bunch of people we're not even concerned about. Gotta be honest with you. Come on. Who else? Don Lemon, already mentioned her. Bette Midler. Yeah, so I know for a fact that Joy Reid left as well. Just a whole bunch of people left. Bunch of Hollywood people, bunch of far left journalists, you know, a la Joy Reid, obviously. They all just started leaving X like crazy. They went to BlueSky. Some of them just stay on TikTok. Some of them aren't doing anything. You know, actually, if I just jump over here to Mark Hamill, let me jump over to Mark Hamill real quick. This is what Mark Hamill said. I'll read a quote from him because it's too big for the screen. He said, "Thanks to everyone for including me." This is his post on BlueSky. "Thanks to everyone for including me in so many starter packs. That said, I'm in a state of shock, still trying to process what happened to our country since the election. So I won't be posting on a daily basis. I'll be back at some point, but please forgive me. Healing takes time. Love you all. Mar." And he puts a camel for his name? Good God. Mark, what happened to you? You're the best Jedi. You're the best Jedi. You know how disappointed Obi-Wan Kenobi must be? He gave up his life for you, man. What's going on with you? Jeez. Star Wars, the whole thing went to... I don't even get into it. Listen, so they all left. They're coming back here and there. But check out this little article that I found, or video, from MSNBC. They're basically doing an ad. And this sends off the same alarm bells when I saw every Hollywood person endorsing and supporting Hillary Clinton. They did the same thing for Kamala Harris. And now they're doing the same thing with BlueSky, which tells me that this is a coordinated effort. This isn't just Elon is doing a bad job. Elon's doing a great job. So the fact that they're doing stuff like this tells me something's up. There's going to be some big attacks on Elon, and I think this is one of them. Check this out. Let's make sure. Listen, I already know it's on double. It's not on double speed. Look at me. I'm improving, guys. Let's go.
Than ever before. Now, if you don't use Twitter, you may be thinking, well, who cares about a social media platform? Which, true, but it's undeniable that that platform it has a lot of influence and power. And one served a really important purpose. I mean, it was this incredible place that fostered communication and public debate and discourse between all kinds of different folks with different life experiences and experts with different domain knowledge, and journalists and politicians, the folks that cover them. So if you, like me, no longer want to spend much time on a platform controlled by a reactionary billionaire, it is useful to find alternatives. Now, first and foremost, I would say the most important thing is to find actual journalism. If you still have a local newspaper, subscribe to that, or find other places that are doing real reporting through independent media. There are folks that are doing that on Substack and ProPublica and all sorts of places. So you want to do everything you can to make yourself an informed citizen by seeking out genuine journalism. If you're looking for a Twitter alternative specifically, I have to say, I've really been enjoying the platform BlueSky. It functions almost identically to Twitter, but without all the baggage. It's also a place where the algorithm, like what they want you to look at, does not dominate in the way it does on other social media platforms. And as a result, to me, feels less predatory, at least from my perspective. Best of all, it's not owned by some tech oligarch like Elon Musk. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Users have been flocking there in droves lately. Get this, the site went from about 9 million global users in September to more than 14 million today. New York Times now reporting just today the platform gained 1 million new accounts since the election 1 week ago. Sounds like something you're interested in? I happen to be there. You can look me up on BlueSky by searching Chris Hayes. It's Chris L. Hayes at BlueSky. Hope to see you over there.
What? Did you notice when he was talking about real journalism? Didn't mention himself. Hey, didn't mention MSNBC. He's like, I don't know, you get a newspaper or something. Stay away from the TV. This stuff's garbage, quite honestly. But I mean, there's Substack and what? Hey, man. Hey, you're on TV. You okay? Absolutely ridiculous. But what I just showed you, that was a commercial. That was an ad. They just did an ad because they've done this so many times. I remember back when they were doing this with Ozempic quite a bit, but now they're doing it with BlueSky. What is this other than what has Elon Musk done to MSNBC, CNN, ABC, mainstream, legacy media as a whole? What has he done? He has made them irrelevant. He's helped independent voices make them irrelevant. I should correct that. That's what he's done. And now, all of a sudden, they're coming out saying, hey, we got this. I've been enjoying BlueSky quite a bit. All this is them trying to attack Elon Musk. That's all this is. It's absolutely ridiculous. And oh gosh, I gotta say, this guy's talking about feeling less predatory. Let me shrink this screen for a second, guys. He's talking about it being less predatory. Hey, this is the dictator in Brazil right now. Well, this guy's owned by a Supreme Court judge and basically does whatever he says. But we have people who are in the dictator realm on this BlueSky app. They left X. And then, is this it? Oh, we'll get back to that in a second. This, in the past 24 hours, we received more than 42,000 reports, an all-time high in one day. These guys celebrate reports. That tells you all you need to know. But this is actually serious. We're receiving about 3,000 reports an hour. To put that into context, in all of 2023, we received 360. It's largely CSAM. If you don't know what that is, I can't even get into it, but it has to do with young people. It's young people content that you shouldn't be, that dirtbags look at, that terrible, terrible people look at. So that's what is going on BlueSky. And just so you know, this isn't just a random post. This is actually from their safety team. So they actually have a safety team that gives reports about how safe they're keeping the platform. Again, just so woke. And it comes from an account called Libs of BlueSky. Somebody jumped on that quick. I wish I thought of that. So the same way there's libs of TikTok, there's now libs of BlueSky, and they're showing all of the absolute ridiculousness on this platform. Some person said favorite pick, and this guy was like, these two are her. Come on, BlueSky, you're doing this to me already. This person's 2 favorite picks. And you know what? We're at a point where I still might be in trouble for saying this person, because they could wear cat ears on the weekend. There could be cat ears in that picture and I don't see it, and now I'm a bigot. It's out of control. Anyway, let's just I want you to this is what this same person dropped soon after. That same person you just saw, they dropped this. New gender just dropped. I'm not pronouncing it. AKA protector in death, associated with the Church of Grima, flagged by me. They're making new genders on BlueSky. Come on, man. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? I can go to X and listen to Elon Musk and Trump just be amazing. Or I could just go there and do it myself. Over at BlueSky, they're saying, hey, new gender just dropped. It's ridiculous. You know, the FBI is over there just like, what is this shit? What? How? Why are we controlling this? The FBI's like, what is this? Why are we controlling this? I don't want to control this. New gender just dropped, guys. What? What are you talking about? So a little bit of more examples of what's going on here. It's just people like this. Literally, this is why that gentleman, Mark, said it's called Blue Cry. This woman saying, I am absolutely terrified and I'm not afraid to say so. That's odd. Huh. Pulling from both sides there. Interesting. Let's go on. I am horrified at all of this. I can feel it in every bone of my body. I am terrified as a black woman, and I demand time to grieve this. So I'm not running to the front lines of anything. Hey, what are you talking about? Hey, you got to say what you're talking about. What's she talking about? Someone get her name wrong at Starbucks? Right? Is that what happened? Spelled Gabrielle with 1 L. I don't like when people spell Colin with 2 L's. I feel your pain there. I grieve that all the time. All the time. Especially because my name is directly on anything you're sending to me. And it hurts. It hurts, does. I get it. If that's what she's talking about, I get it. But she didn't specify. But it's just a whole lot of that. This is just a fun picture. See someone on X, Defying L's, they post something great. They're like people who left for BlueSky and they're looking at the X bottle and they're like, oh gosh. Oh, I have to show you this. This person got canceled. End Wokeness. Great follow if you're on X. End Wokeness. They actually started a BlueSky account and got kicked off in 30 seconds. Here, look at this. They're just going through the whole thing. Look at this. Just 30 seconds. That's all they wrote. Listen, YouTube, I don't support that. I know there's 14 billion genders, okay? Right away. This is what happened. This content's been flagged. They posted it anyway. Boom. Content blocked. That was it. That was it. I know you're like, wait, what else happened? No. That was it. Done. You're done. They kick you right off if you say something like that. How'd they catch it so fast? They literally have it set up to where if you say anything controversial, you're gone. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Someone said, again, you know, it's less predatory, less toxic. I love going to my job as a dentist and giving conservative children extra fluoride. Hey. I thought you guys were the party of joy. New gender dropped. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Listen. I embrace that, you know, that excited about a new one that they made. Come on. That was the maker of the flag. Wow. We just met the maker of a flag, guys. Haven't you always wanted to do that? Someone said, you just know all the ring wingers. Is that like code on this platform, or did he misspell it? What's going on there? No spell check in BlueSky? What's going on with you? On X are making accounts here to screenshot and report back to Daddy Elon. Hey, you're right. You're right. I'm going to do it next. I'm definitely going to make an account. Can you imagine I make an account and I just become a just straight up far left extremist? I just become an Antifa member. I just have blue beard hair, rainbow beard hair, and a nose ring that goes like that. No more American flag stuff. I just make it all rainbow. Oh God, somebody would come after me. Actually, no, nobody would. That's how the right tends to work. They don't usually come after people. This person said, every day is a great day to give trans people money, but today is especially a great day for that. So go do so, cis folks. Okay. Hey, I'm not going to do that. I might have cis followers. So your mission for Trans Awareness Week is to give money to trans people. What? Hey, I'm glad I'm on X where no one asks me for money. What? You thought you were tired of hearing black people talk about reparations. Oh, trans people are like, you owe us reparations too. And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, bigot. And then they call you a fascist, whether or not you give them the money. You give them the money, they call you a fascist. You don't give them the money, fascist times two. Oh, trust me. This guy, I've seen this guy on YouTube. Not a fan. Tyler Cohen. I just got a push notification for an Elon tweet on one of my Twitter accounts that doesn't follow Elon. Just next level neat. Hey, man, are you still on Twitter? Hey, are you still on X, bro? These guys, it's literally a platform for complaining. That's all it is. They just complain. Honestly, we should never stop talking about how MAGA literally believes in things that aren't happening to the point that many of them are mentally diseased by it. Oh, this seems like a wonderful place, I have to say. It seems like a lovely place. I'm not even gonna show this. Here, I'll put it. There's so many things that I don't understand what they are. Okay, so this is this person's profile. The picture is like a horse, but it's like a half human horse, if you know what I mean. Like, it's weird. Not safe for work, 38, she, but she's not spelled properly. Her, but her's not spelled properly. Plural is a pronoun? Okay. Trans, pan, lesbian, and I'm not reading this gypsy curse that they got going on here. It's like a gypsy curse or something. You're not going to trick me. Not today, buddy. Horse person. I guess that's, there's a swear word there. Man, and these people swear a heck of a lot here. I'm gonna cover that up real quick. I don't know who needs to hear this, but mocking Elon Musk by implying he's a trans woman hurts trans women a lot more than it hurts Elon Musk. Hey, that's true. That's true. Go ahead. Go off, lady person. MX. Oh, MX. That's a pronoun. I'm learning. MX Ellie is Elipi. Hey. It's like the left speaks a different language. That's English too? So there's two Englishes now. So now there's two Twitters and there's two Englishes now. And I have to learn the other English. Or else I'm a bigot. What? This is too much. While we're at it, those bathroom signs with the like pants, dress, and alien symbols on them and says, I don't care as long as you wash your hands, are reductive and transphobic. And you should knock that the F off too. Oh my goodness. This is so crazy. What a great place. What a great place. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to live in a country where its chief executive decided by an Arkan process designed to give outsized advantage to slaveholders. See, I got to reference back to that other one where people said they were saying MAGA believes in things that aren't real. You got to show this to that lady. But if I do that, I'd probably get kicked off the platform. So I'm not going to bother. Not doing that. Oh, yeah, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, new users are coming on daily. Unsure of engagement? The more posts you like and reply to, the strong the platform becomes. That is true. The strong platform always becomes from tweeting. But the thing about Mark Cuban is, oh, no, it's not here. Where is it? Oh, Mark Cuban came right back to, he's back already. Is that today? No, that was yesterday. He said that. Oh, what happened, Mark? I thought the strong the platform. The more you like and post, the strong the platform. The strong the platform, Mark. What happened? Oh, man. Rats. Isn't that sad? Coming to BlueSky is like going to a drag queen story hour. You see a lot of normal people you see a lot of normal people pretending everything is normal when everything is definitely not normal, and you think the children are in danger. And you feel like the children are in danger. That sums it up, guys. That is BlueSky. That is what you're going to be hearing about time and time again in the media and from Hollywood and all these people. They're going to be talking about BlueSky and how fantastic it is. That's BlueSky, guys. So if that seems appealing to you, go ahead, check it out. And honestly, I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna get an account. I want to really see it, because I went to the website. They wouldn't let me search for things. I want to go and search for some things. I'm gonna find some stuff. Not the terrible stuff that they're letting be on that site, but I want to find some wild wokesters. That's what I'm gonna go and do. But anyway, honestly, this is obviously an attack on Elon Musk. They're trying to give a place to people where they don't have to actually engage and participate in the marketplace of ideas. They don't want people to start trading ideas. They don't want people exposed to people who are MAGA, people who are conservative. Maybe they're left center, maybe they're right center, maybe they're just straight in the middle, maybe they're libertarian. They don't want people to get exposed to that. They want division. So they're providing this space that's for sure watched by the government, the same way we saw with Twitter before Elon Musk took over. It's for sure moderated that way. It's for sure looked at that way. And they're pretty much just throwing themselves in an echo chamber because they need those people to not flip sides, because they've had so many people switch sides. There's so many Democrats who are now registered Republicans, who voted for Trump, who see everything that's going on X as a necessary thing, because it is. And you may not like X either, right? I know many of you don't, and that's fine. But it shows a picture of society. And with a picture of society, it gets dark sometimes. It gets disrespectful sometimes. It gets rude. It gets impatient. It gets it wrong. It gets it right. There's just so much to it, but that's what you want. And with BlueSky, it's just showing one idea. Exactly like Mark said, that S in marketplace of idea versus marketplace of ideas is such a huge difference. So anyways, guys, just wanted to bring you all that information. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, helps the channel tremendously. Other than that, I'm out.